Hello everyone and welcome to the Grand Prix Charlotte. I'm Glenn Jones. This is Gerard Fabiano. You guys just saw his draft. So Gerard, before we dive in, how do you think it went?
I think it went okay. There was not a lot of 2-drops in the pool, and I wanted to get the 2/2 Syndicate that extorted, the 2-mana 2/2, the white one, but I ended up not even ever seeing one. It wasn't like I took a good rare over it or anything. I just never saw it. So I think the draft went okay. I'm probably going to have to go 2-0-1 to make top 8, and I'm playing Sharfman now. They just announced a feature match, so he's a tough opponent.
Yeah, definitely. You have most of like the key extort stuff that we want to see. Obviously, you've got a pair of Kingpin's pets here. You got the Basilica Screecher kind of hedging for your lock of a 2-drop. Basilica cards. I really like Dutiful Thrall in these extort decks as well.
I do. Yeah, like in extort, you really want to play a bunch of cheap spells, so you're able to play your cheap spell and have mana to extort. If you're playing a bunch of 4 and 5 drops, it's difficult for you to extort as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wound up having to go into blue. Was this specifically for power level? Were you a little light on playables, or was your goal to be splashing blue for most of the draft?
No, I just wanted to go Orzhov.
Okay.
In my head, I know Ben Lundquist is even here, but I felt he was telling me that I was going to open the 5/5 Ghost Council card, but I didn't open it, and I like Orzhov the best, and it just so happened that there were some good Dimir cards, so I ended up taking them. I actually have a Fire Mane Angel in my sideboard. Because my plan was to go white, black, splash red. Then I just ended up not getting any more red, and the blue supplies me just as much power and more cards. So
when you're light on 2-drops, also the Avenger certainly like loses some power level.
Yeah. I mean, Avenger with the Basilica cards isn't really a combo.
Yeah. You do have a couple of rares. Obviously, one of them is the Dimir Splash, Consuming Aberration.
The pre-release card.
Yeah, I haven't actually gotten to play with this card myself, but I've been told it's pretty insane. Have you gotten some good experiences with it?
Yeah, it's really powerful. Normally, you play it out, and it's like a 4/4 for 5 mana, and then if you untap with it, it just could go up to like 10/10, 15/15. All of a sudden, they're chump blocking, and if it's a board stall, you can just mill them out.
Okay, very reasonable. Ogre Slumlord, another rare I've seen more than I've played with. I've watched it take down a number of people today. People, for example, forget the Rats of Death Touch or don't realize it's any creature.
Or they don't realize it's a rogue. I had one opponent attack.
Yeah, that's a big thing too.
His 3-mana 2/2 guy into it, and I just was like, block. It was immediate. He was attack block, and he actually read the card first. I guess he didn't check out the creature type, so.
An easy mistake to make.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the more interesting cards I think you have in the pool, I mean, obviously most of the good Orzhov we can take for granted. Kingpin's Pets, 1,000 Lashes. You're topping out with Illuminate Primordial since you're a slower deck.
Sure.
Which makes total sense because he's pretty much a bomb if you can cast him. But Purge the Profane made the cut, which is kind of an interesting one. I've seen it in Index. I've seen it, maligned on sideboards. So is it a card you play, like a little over half the time, under half the time, like very infrequently?
I would probably say about half the time you would play.
Okay.
It is a fine card, and especially when you're playing at a tournament like a Grand Prix or maybe like a top 8 of a PTQ or even a big Moto event, the players are going to be really good. And playing against good players is tough because they usually hold their tricks. You don't know what they have.
Right.
But boom, with a discard spell, they might just discard their 2 cards that they were going to blow you out with. Say Etherize or something. Even something as though Etherize isn't that good, it could just blow you out because the really good player is going to play it well.
Yeah, one of the cards I see that happening the most with is like Angelic Edict. Once they see like what your big guy is, they sandbag that removal spell as long as possible, and so you can use this to just like strip it before you play your Primordial, for example.
Yeah, perfect example.
Okay, well, it looks like you mostly have what you wanted here. Obviously, a little probably not excited about, for example, Duskmantle Guildmage. Just a guy you wind up having to play. Mind-Eye Drake's okay, that kind of thing, but what kind of record do you think you can predict for yourself going into this draft?
I mean, I'm not good at predicting anything except for, sometimes some rares that might go up in price. But honestly, it would mean so much to me if I were to top 8. But if not, it's just, what can you do? It's at the end of the day, it's only Magic. But I would like to say I could go 2-0-1 and hopefully draw with my buddy Tom Ross because he's also in the pod.
It's a strong pod for sure.
So we talked about it before. And we're like, all right, you go 2-0, I go 2-0, and then we draw. But we'll see what happens. And
all right, well, I'll do the most I can do for you, which is wish you good luck and send you to the Feature Match Arena.
All right, I'll see you.
Thanks for joining us, Gerard, and we'll have him in the Feature Match Arena shortly against David Sharfman.
Okay.